Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in. Check out your boy, P-Funk, thinking right out here in the lab. Where I do what I do for you. I'm back in the book. I got something nice for you today. Let's get this party started. Rightism, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. There's a message in the story for life. I give life lessons. You tune in, receiving them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's rock. Right Thinker's mission, and that's what I'm on, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right Thinker's way of life through mental and spiritual discipline practice daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal should be to know thyself. See where I'm going with that? So I asked the question, do you know you? It's rhetorical, but if you don't have the answer for yourself, tune in. I can help you with that. That's what I do for you. A person who knows not, and knows not that they even know not, foolish, disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not. It's simple, but you can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know, dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know, okay, they're spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers know thyself and to my yacht, be true. We're going in lesson period time. I'm going to give classroom lessons. I got a few pages of information. I'm going to do it classroom style. So let's start with this, right thinkers. Let's talk about the four parables of states of consciousness, okay? Of the mind. I'm gonna give you four parables, and they're gonna break down for you each one, starting with number one. This is the first parable, and this one is about first parable. Impart the understanding of my girl, my yacht, or truth, balance, cause, and effect. These are all the things her philosophy will bring to you if you understand them. Truth, balance, cause, and effect, righteous actions, aka IRE. IRE, y'all know it as karma, but IRE is the results of your action. You reap what you sow. That's in the Mayat philosophy also. And you got the righteous action, aka IRE, and the glory of the divine. The story goes, when God came out of the noon, when Ra came out after saying, let there be light, the next thing he did was institute Maya for order throughout the universe. That's the story. That's why I give her props. Now, Maya is the order, again, justice and righteousness of the universe. This is the concept that you got to understand. And it is law of cause and effect also. Set up by who? The divine. Why? To maintain harmony in the universe, first of all. And guess what else? Inside us, we are the physical human universe. Any action, what's this? Any action performed will bring a reaction. You reap what you sow. Hello. To the person performing said action. Again, I try to break it down. You're responsible for whatever you do. It's okay to be ignorant. It's okay to make mistakes. But if you're going to better yourself, you got to limit those things. That's self-improvement, spiritual enlightenment, knowing thyself. All these things, that you can call it what you want, but it's some things that you have to personally do for yourself. They call it effort. Thus, positive actions, good deeds, set up what? Positive karma. Karma is based on what? For positive occurrences in a person's life. You reap what you sow. You do good things, you get good things happen. We call them blessings. When you do good deeds, just good stuff, you'll be blessed. In the same way, if you do negative actions will set up what? Your negative karma. And that means you're going to get what you put out. If it's negative, you rest assured you're going to get that back. And if you don't believe it, you live long enough, you'll understand it. For negative occurrences, whenever it happens in a person's life, you can't get around your actions. Be they good or bad. Good, you're rewarded. Bad, you're punished. I don't have time to go back and forth. No. Good, do right. Bad, you do wrong. Good, you get blessed. Bad, you get punished. Simple. Adversity, whatever you want to call it, but it's not going to work good for you if you putting out bad. It may not be what right away, right now. It might not happen right now. No, because most people who doing bad, they doing things that's beneficial to them at the moment. So they getting going. They think it's okay. That's why I tell you, don't worry about what somebody's doing. They ain't doing. Karma takes care of them. Take care of you too. So you should be worrying about you, okay? But all things will come to a point at a certain point in time. And therefore, what happens? It is important to understand and hold pure thoughts. I'm teaching you how to cleanse the mind by holding pure thoughts and performing good and righteous deeds for what? In order to promote goodness, peace, and harmony where? In one's life. What you do ain't got nothing to do with nobody else. Only you know and he know what it is you're doing. So just do it for that purpose. If you're doing it for other accolades, for people say, look at me, I'm this, I'm that. All wrong reasons. Simple. You have to maintain you. What you do, here you go. Whatever you do, what? Come back to you. I call it the proverbial boomerang. You throw it out there. You might have good intentions. Most of us claim they do. But when that deed is done, you'll be either rewarded or punished for that deed. So to make a difference, it's going to come back and bust you in the head. This is an ancient Egyptian principle of Mishkenet. This principle of Mishkenet relates to what in popular culture we know now most commonly referred to as karma. Okay, we know about, again, way back then, whatever name you call it by, it don't make a difference what it is. Mishkenet relates to what a and that also represents the state of reincarnation. Why? If you do bad action, you ain't going that way, you going that way. But what is WRIGHT? Hello, let's talk about that. I think I did this before. It feels familiar, but I ain't got nothing written down. Ain't no yellow here, so might be virgin territory. So let's talk about what is WRIGHT. The answer to this question can be found in the Ru Per M Haru textbook of enlightenment, also incorrectly known here as the Book of the Dead, back the book of coming forth by day. That's the truth. And the goddess, which we call Mishkenet, presides over what? The future birth of an individual, but she represents only the culmination of the process. She just giving you what you deserve. You did the action. She just giving you the results of your action. And usually if she coming, it's not good. That's why they say karma's a bitch. Why? Because you don't want that. Why? But you did it. It's yours. At Judgment Day, bam. Everything that you've done stacked up in your heart, in the vase that they call the ab. On the scale, against the feather of my eye. That feather is light. If your heart have any remnants of what you've been doing, you ain't gonna pass. Simple as that. They were strict about that. So, what's this? It's the culmination of the process which has what? Come to be known as Am. That means unmayat, unenlightened, and you informed for what? Reincarnation in modern times. That's what they call it. In reality, it really is what? The individual who determines his or her fate. How? By your actions they perform in life. We had this figured out a long time ago. Put it down in writing and in stone. Okay, so I've got information from thousands of years ago, and it's still on point to this very day. Y'all talking about the blood of Jesus work? I keep telling you, knowledge of self works also. So, however, the wisdom that comes from the experience and your actions of what? Our ancient Egyptian sage dictated what? That the process should be what? Explained, broken down into what? A mythological terms to help what? People better understand said philosophy. Now, if you want to learn about Christians, Muslims, or Jews, you got to join their cult. No, they was teaching the general public how to be their best selves. They didn't pick and choose by hierarchy, this one and that one. Nope, they make a difference. That's the difference. And this process worked as follows. Quick breakdown. This is the Judgment Day concept. The divinity Shah, I wish I had to break down, I ain't got time for that right now. Shah and Renunet. Shah is your physical body standing in, okay? Renunet is the two twins that represents, they govern the individual's fate or destiny and your fortune, okay? These deities, they had a deity for everything, over 2,000 years. But that was every aspect of your character of life. So the more you master characters of your personality, the better you are to be what? Your best self. So self-mastery was a must back then. And these deities, watch this, were considered the hands of the great god Tahuti, which is the mind. He needs hands, okay? So he needs other things going on. And he symbolizes what? The intellectual, mean knowledge, enlightenment, development of what? Of a human being. All human beings have Tahuti. And he is the one who inscribes a person's fate. When once they have, you see him at Judgment Day, he's the one standing there keeping records. And he's the one that faced the scales of Mayat. That is, if they judge, watch this, they are judged. When you go to Judgment Day, you're judged by your deeds, by you. No, by you. Why? All that's contained in the heart. That's where they take the heart out and they judge it. In reference to what? Their past abilities to what? To uphold Mayat. She was so important that they judged you at Judgment Day. Like God got Jesus up in heaven, God. Mayat was who they had to answer to. Okay? And the question of how much did you uphold Mayat in your life? Did you live in Mayat? Every day. Every day. Every day. Moving on. A person's intellectual capacity, that means your ability to learn, reflects in their actions. An ignorant person can't do good things continuously. Why? Haphazardly, willy-nilly. It ain't always going to work. Why? No knowledge. Okay? Not knowing something, you got a 50-50 shot of being right or wrong. So sometimes they get it right, even though they don't have a clue. So understand that. Thus, what? It is fitting for the intellect, which is your brain, which is Tahuti, to judge its own actions. Who's better to judge you than you? You know you. If God knows you, he knows your heart. Sound familiar? They told you that 10,000 years ago. Now, further, God does not judge anyone. I thought God would. See, again, you thought. God does not judge anyone. Why? Because we are all what? Essentially gods. And if you're ignorant of that fact, you don't know thyself. That's why. And the goddesses, we are God and goddesses, meaning male and female. There's no one God. Sparks of the same divinity. That's the one thing that's one, but it divides itself and multiplies itself over and over again and don't add or lose anything. That's the concept of God. And so God, where? Within us is what judges us. This is an objective judgment, which only every individual is responsible for what? It to occur at the unconscious level of what? In the mind. Everything is restored. Everything is recorded up here and here. They didn't even keep the recorder up here. Why? it went here. Why? At Judgment Day, that's what they're going to check. Simple. That's the hard drive. Okay, this is the other part. I ain't computer literate, so I don't know how that thing go, but I know this is the hard drive. Okay, the other part they don't care about. So, beyond any interference from what? From a person's personality or, you ready? Your ego consciousness, which is who you identify with, which is your lower nature, which is, again, only the surface level of your mind. That's the minute part. Me, I, yeah. We start at birth with that, okay? A baby in the crib has an ego. Why? He know if he cry, he make noise, they're going to attend to him. So they start out with that in the first 7 years, depending on your environment, going to dictate what kind of person you're going to grow up to be. Good environment, good person. That don't always pan out, but a bad environment, your chances of being good is like slim and none. And like my mommy's like, Slim just walked out the door. So understand that. It's all mental. So therefore, one's conscious desires to what? To go to heaven. How you do that? At the time of death, or one's conscious repentance at the time of death for misdeeds in life will not be able to what? Overcome the weight of what? Their IRE, their actions. Means nothing. Actions is what you're being counted for, and you made a bunch of bad ones. Your actions, things done, make something, a deed, IRE, karma. Whatever you do, they told you, comes back to you. And one has set up their own personal, individual IRE when? During their lifetime, every day. So it is important to begin what? Now, as soon as possible, to start what? Purifying your heart and cleanse the soul so as to what? Become, you ready? Makaru, meaning speaking true, pure of heart at the time of judgment. It ain't about hope. Nope. You're speaking from the heart. That's Makaru. The God and Goddess at Judgment Day are what? Cosmic forces, which only facilitate. Karma gonna do what karma does. Give you what you deserve. She don't care about who you are. Okay? All aspects of the cosmic forces just do what they do. It's up to you to use them either for the good or for the bad. That's okay. And they have done that. I keep telling you. Darth Vader, all these guys, Trump, all these people who self-grandizing, those are ones who using they all that good stuff for what? Self-fulfillment. Me, I. You know they're going to hell. Moving on. So those kind of people are reincarnated. Simple as that. They tell you that. Don't be them. Simple. The process, watch this, but the life process, but from a mythological and a philosophical standpoint, they are just concepts for understanding the mystical philosophy of the teachings. You have to implement it and experience it for yourself, and that's how you know thyself. That's the first lesson. I'm gonna stop it now. I see the clock. I want to take up too much of your time, but I got some things to do myself. But I'll be back with more lessons. We're still on Parable 1. We're still learning about Maya and your IRE, what it is and what it does. And in closing, right thinkers, may y'all live to be 100 and me 100 minus a day. So I never know that right thinkers like you have passed away. I'll be back with the next lesson.